Nilas
Yeah,
from Hub Copenhagen.
exactly.
I heard you were hosting a open space session
I did.
about how to fight back criticism.
Yeah, and fight back these kind of. We don't usually do that kind of answers when you come up with new ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I got interested in what are the environments where you have been facing such situations, and what are your cases that make you think that?
I experienced it in everyday life. You know, whatever family, friends, colleagues. But it's especially a big problem in large organizations. And I tried it at, for instance, Roskilde University, where you come up with good ideas and your managers expect you to come up with good ideas, but they really don't support them. So you can also come up with criticism or the like, come up, this is not good enough, and there are really no response to it.
And yeah. So now when you faced it, what would be your tips on how to behave? How to do Tai Chi
I
with the
have to add
topic?
one more thing, because one problem is that leaders and managers doesn't respond to it. But the problem is when colleagues also start to behave contrary to their own interests.
Yeah.
So they start to come up with norms or ideals that are really not benefiting themselves. They have a criticism themselves about something that's not good enough, or they have some new ideas, but they're not pushing them forward because they want to, we're not used to do this and we have to change, and there's uncertainty. So we had the discussion of what do we have to learn and unlearn. And this is basically it for what we discussed in this 45 minutes. So it's we should unlearn trying to push ideas and insights down the throat of colleagues and others, because we tend to do that very often and say, hey, this is a good idea, take it or leave it. Then we should unlearn to expect others to change. Change starts from yourself, or change starts from a common ground, not from just saying to others, let's change, and then expect them to change. And a third point was that we should unlearn to insist that the elephant is exactly blue 5 ton with yellow ears, saying that we should, that I come up with a good idea or come with some criticism of the organization, maybe it's not the right idea. So we should be more open to have collaborative ideas and collaborative change management. And then we have to learn some other stuff. For instance, to be empathic towards colleagues and managers. If they refuse or resist a good idea, maybe start asking, what do they think? How do they feel about it? Give them a lot of questions on, but why is it not a good idea? And try to get clever yourself and create something with your colleagues about this change that you really wish to have. Another thing is to emphasize leading your leaders and yourself. Because often you just think that this is a good idea and then it's going to fly, but you have to put a lot of effort into leading yourself, restraining yourself from just, hey, take the idea or get angry. And you also have to put a lot of emphasis on leading upwards, because your boss, maybe he's not able to see the brilliant stuff in this idea, so you have to put a lot of effort into doing that. And then the third thing, which is really tricky here, strategy of seeding ideas and insights. Basically say, all right, maybe the time slot right now is not the right for this idea. So maybe you have to, and in the public sector, for instance, ideas can get lost, or it can take 3 years to implement them. And there's a natural way that things go slow. So sometimes you have to see, maybe not 3 years, but start putting ideas around, seeding them, and then have a realistic perspective of when you can harvest them.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we discussed here, and there was a lot of other good points, but
you concretized quite well. I must say this was personally interesting topic for me, because I have faced similar cases in universities around the world. Happens to be university example from you as well. But maybe
it's extra a tragic comic when we talk about universities,
where learning should be like the main issue.
Yeah.
But I guess we can keep up the dialogue about this topic on our future ventures, future cases. Thank you, Nilas.
You're welcome. Have a good day.